Okay. All right, sweet boy. We've got camera working. We've got Apollo working. We've got mic working. Yes. Okay. Well, hey there, everyone. It's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi. I hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. I hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to be doing a little walk around, life update / responding to comments. So much for taking a break. I don't need a whole month off. That was silly. No, I'm just kidding. I am gonna be taking a little bit of a break, but you know what? I was feeling quite sprightly today. Today's the 3rd of August, I think. Let's look at the thing. Yeah, 3rd of August. It's just been doing a lot of stuff. I have some motivation. I was like, let's get through some more comments. I had a little bit of a lull in my day. I had to take Apollo for a walk anyway, so I was like, well, we're going to be walking. Might as well get some comments done, have another video to share. So who knows? I might still do walk-in chats and stuff. I'm feeling good. I'm not feeling particularly overwhelmed right now. What happened today? We'll talk about life stuff. So yesterday we went on a hike. I did a whip and jam. And then this morning I was up really early, so we did a morning walk with Apollo bright and early. And then I went to Estes Park and filmed that. So that's all. You should have seen all that by now. And then I also was able to, was that yesterday or the day before? I forget. I've been kind of picking at it, but I filmed my A Question of Reality, or I didn't film anything, but I put the video portion together, the visual portion of my A Question of Reality video together, and then wrote the script for it yesterday. Let's cross this way and go to the park. Wrote the script, and then today when I got home from Estes Park, I recorded the audio, and I was able to edit and get all that posted today at the time of filming this. So that was nice to get that announcement video up. And so now I'm feeling kind of like, ooh, I'm on top of the world. I'm pretty caught up. I got my stuff done. Of course, I still need to work on the actual event content over the course of the month, but I'm like, I feel like I'm all set as far as things that were on my list to do. So I was like, I'm feeling pretty good. Have some editing to do with the past couple of vlogs, and the whip and jam and all that stuff is still processing on the computer. But it's like, you know what? I'm feeling good. Let's get out here and do a walk, and I'll respond to some comments and talk about life stuff. But boy, was that announcement video for A Question of Reality a lot of fun to do. I want to get weird with it. I hope that came through. I want to get weird with it. I want to get just strange and not your typical what you expect to see. So I hope that announcement video sets the tone for the content that's going to be coming in September for that event. I really wanted it to kind of set the tone for what you should expect to see. So I hope it works out, and I hope everyone liked it. Much more my style, just getting weird and sci-fi and funky. I was actually listening to, as part of my research, I was listening to an interview from one of the DJs or the artists that is part of the group Neptune Project, who Christopher Lavelle made that artwork for. It's their album cover for their album, A Question of Reality. So that's where that artwork comes from. So I'm listening to some interviews of him, one of the artists talking about that album. So I'll be finishing listening to that today. And then I have a couple videos in queue from Christopher Lavelle. Just wanted to learn a little bit more about him as an artist. So I think that'll be the first video of the series in September, is just a shallow dive into not only Christopher Lavelle, but Neptune Project and that album and some of the inspiration there. So that'll be the first one. And then we'll probably pick 3 different topics each subsequent week. One will be about outer space stuff. One will most likely be about things that people take as far as consume that aren't legal, because that's a big theme in that artwork. And then we'll see about the last one. I haven't quite figured out the last one yet. But yeah, there's lots of stuff to pick from, so I'm excited. I already did the thumbnail for the first week video, and that's what I'm researching right now. I'll start writing the script soon. So yeah, that's what's going on there. As far as diamond painting goes, got a little bit done today while I was editing videos. I got a little bit more of A Question of Reality done. So working on the 3rd row of that. I'd like to be done with it by the end of the month. We'll see. That way I have a finish. And that might just be the last video as my finish and review. We'll see. Who knows? But yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun putting that together. It's my first solo mission in terms of paint-alongs and events and stuff. So it's giving me good practice for Muka Mania. What are you doing? You're not peeing, you're not pooping, you're just sniffing? That's okay. Come on. Poor thing, he went and we did our morning walk today, and then when I got home, I immediately started working on that announcement video and getting it edited and published. And so it's almost 6:30. And so he's been in the house for about 10 and a half hours. So he was like, excuse me, I'm supposed to be out now. So we're out here. And yeah, that's kind of life stuff. What are you doing? What are you doing, baby? But I'm trying to think of anything else to update you on life-wise. I mean, we just talked this morning. Yeah. Nothing else really went on today. We have a bunch of friends over. Joe has a bunch of friends over. They're my friends too. I have a bunch of friends over. Come on. To watch the Olympics. So they're all watching that. Woo! Hop up. Keep going. Good boy. Good boy. Oh my gosh. Extra high today. Wow. Cool. Do you got extra energies? Let's see if you have energy to do number 2. Not number 2, but trick number 2. Hop up. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. You're going slow today. Come on. Come on. You're supposed to get a running start. Go, go, go. Come on. Send it. Send it. Send it. You got it. You got it. Send it. Good boy. You didn't have energy for that one. Good boy. Usually he gets a good running start to run up that, and this time he wanted to rock climb. So yeah, they're all watching the Olympics, and I was like, okay, let me take the boy out. Everyone's at the house hanging out. There's probably about 5 or 6 of our friends there, and then Joe's girlfriend, Maddie. So after we're done with this, I'll probably go home and check on the computer, see how things are processing. And then I'm planning on going to karaoke tonight because the karaoke bar here in town that I used to go to for karaoke, I stopped going last year because the DJ, or the KJ, I think is what they call them, she's just a pal. I guess I'll call her a pal. I just know her from her doing karaoke around the Denver metro area. Her name is Amy, and she used to do it there. And then she sent me a Facebook message randomly last year, and was like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm no longer doing karaoke at Ace High, which is the bar downtown Golden. I'm trying to find some other places, wish me luck, so on and so forth. And I was like, okay, so I assumed that meant that they were no longer doing karaoke at that bar, just flat out. I should have realized that maybe they just decided to go with someone else, or, whatever. So I never looked into it. I just stopped going to Ace High because there was no karaoke. That's really the only reason I went there. And then last week or a couple weeks ago, I was like, I really want to sing karaoke. I wish there was someplace local that I could do it, or someplace close-ish. So I called them and I was like, hey, do you guys still do karaoke? And she was like, yeah, we do it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is what they used to do. And I was like, oh, so they must just have a different KJ, which I kind of feel like I'm cheating on Amy by going to karaoke there when she's not there, because I really did like her. She was so nice and so kind, and she always encouraged everyone to sing, and, gave them props, encouraged everyone to clap and all that stuff. And she would even adjust the mic levels and sometimes give you a little, she would call it put some stank on it. She'd be like, you want me to put some stank on it for you? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So you'd get a little of the, not reverb, but, you get a little echo, a little studio mix to your voice. And so she would try to adjust the levels and stuff depending on the singer, which was always really nice. So I feel bad, but at the same time, it's right downtown. I mean, we walk past it every time we go on a walk. And so I'm going to try to go down there. I've been practicing a couple songs. I've been practicing Want You Back by Cher Lloyd. If anyone remembers that song, remember all the things that you and I did first. It's from the early 2000s, I want to say. Let me look it up. It was like, I don't know if she was a one-hit wonder, but let's see. Want You Back, song by Cher Lloyd. Let's see, 2011. Okay, so later on than I thought. 2011 is when that song came out. I wasn't ever a huge fan of that song, but I can sing it, I think. So I'm gonna try to do that one, and then I've also been practicing Die Young by Kesha, if you remember that song. Once again, I was never really into Kesha, but it came up on one of my, just on my Apple Music. It just was playing, and then I was like trying to sing it, and I was like, oh, hey, I can kind of sing this song. So I'm going to try that one too. I'd love to film myself doing karaoke to share with you all, but because of copyright, I unfortunately cannot. I've already gotten one. I didn't get a copyright strike. I just got a, hey, you're sharing the ad revenue on this this video. It was the one I did where I had clips of my brother doing his DJ set. A couple of the songs that he was sampling on his DJ set got flagged. So I'm sharing the revenue from that video with whatever original artist was being sampled. And I tried not to include any of that. I tried to keep it to the stuff that just sounded like beats and just like general, just non-vocal music. Like he did a couple of samples from like Black Eyed Peas songs and Lizzo and stuff, so I cut all of that out, or I didn't film it, and I thought I was in the clear, but apparently I missed a couple because I just wasn't familiar with the beat being copyrighted or whatever. So I just have to play it really safe. I don't want to ever get a strike. I don't mind sharing revenue, but some artists, they will make a claim, So I was just like, no, I'll play it safe. But go and listen to those songs for a little blast from the past if you want some some pop nostalgia from the early mid 2000s and 2010s, I guess. Across the street, we're gonna kind of go back towards the house through the alleyway, and then we'll cut across the street. We're gonna do another little neighborhood walk on the other side of town that we did last time because I like that area. It's nice and quiet as opposed to sticking to the main road. So we won't go down to the creek or anything today. And honestly, I'm kind of tired because we did our hike yesterday, and then today I've been go just because I woke up super early. We went on our morning walk, drove to Estes, walked around downtown. Now we're back here and I'm going on another little stroll with the boy. So I'm not trying to go too far or too crazy, but I figured we could get through a couple more comments. Yeah. And then I guess the only thing that's still on my plate is Katie and I still haven't filmed at least at the time of filming this on the 3rd, a finale video for Summer with the Masters, and haven't announced our second video winners or the grand prize winners. And I'll reach out to her maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow. I don't like to pester. And it's not a big deal. I'm not stressing about it. So I'm like, if we both have stuff going on, then we both have stuff going on, and it'll happen when it happens. But I hope no one's like itching to see the winners and stuff. But yeah, at least at the time of filming this, we haven't done that. I'm sure we'll connect soon. But yeah. And any other stuff? Not really. Plans for tomorrow? We're going to Waterworld again tomorrow. And so essentially I called it the makeup exam because a few of my friends weren't in town or weren't able to go because they had family in town or stuff going on in June for my birthday. Specifically Scott and his girlfriend, and then Joe's girlfriend, Maddie, and then Alex's girlfriend, MJ. None of them got to go, so we're going again tomorrow as like a makeup, let's go to Waterworld. And it's Waterworld's, I think they said it's their 49th anniversary or something like that. So they're gonna have a photo op with a mermaid and the mascot from Waterworld, which is like a big sun. And then free cookies and giveaways and live music. So it's like their anniversary party tomorrow all day. And so we're gonna go do that. A lot of them aren't going until the afternoon to meet up. I think everyone's going in the afternoon, except me. You know me. I bought my ticket. They open at 10. I'll be there at 9. So I'm gonna go before everyone, and that will just sync up throughout the day. But I figured that'll give me a chance to film. So I'm gonna film a little bit at Waterworld. I'm gonna bring my camera. We'll see how much I'm comfortable filming and what I'm allowed to bring my camera on as far as rides and stuff. But I'm gonna bring my whole GoPro and everything. And then I'll just ask them when I get there, like, hey, can I wear my GoPro on my chest while I go on this slide or on this ride? And if they say yes, then we're good. If not, then I'll just film walking around. I'll give you a tour of this is a pretty car. I'll give you a tour of the park. We'll do a full walk around, and then I plan on just hanging out in the wave pool and relaxing until my friends show up. So yeah, and I got myself, they had a deal. They're like, buy a barbecue sandwich combo and get a free drink. So it was like $15, you get a sandwich and a side, and then you get the free drink as a bonus to add onto your ticket for $15. I was like, sure, why not? I treat myself. So I'm gonna go do that too. And get a little lunch while I'm there and just enjoy the morning by myself, and then as my friends trickle in, we'll do more rides. So that's the plan for tomorrow, and then it's back at it. I do have some work related stuff that I kind of left on the table on Thursday afternoon. I just didn't have enough time, and I'd like to have it done before Monday. That way when I can walk in on Monday, I don't have a bunch of hiring managers being like, hey, you left us high and dry Friday, because I had Friday off. And they know that, but still, you know how it goes. You need to be available 24/7, which they don't always say that, but you know what I mean. Ooh, someone got pulled over. That's not nice. That's not great. Okay, cross. Good boy. So yeah, I don't want to film the police officer or anything, or just, I don't want to get myself into any sort of snafu, so we're gonna actually go further down. You can actually turn here, go around. So yeah, filming in Estes Park today was interesting. I'm always scared to film around crowds and stuff, and there was a lot of people up there, so I did my best to avoid like getting right up in people's faces and stuff. But I was a pedestrian, they're pedestrians, but no one physically stopped me and was like, don't film. There was just one time where a guy, I think I mentioned it in the vlog, it was like some guy, a guy with his wife, he was like, watch out honey, you're being filmed. It's like, calm down. Calm down. I do my best, and that is why I tend to avoid people, because I don't want to have a bunch of faces in my videos, but the nature of walking around in public is that there will be. There's another classic car. They do a thing here in town called the Super Cruise. It's the first Saturday of every month during the summer, where people bring their classic cars out. They bring their classic cars out and they just park them along this road, or they just cruise. They go up and down and up and down, so you can see a lot of classic cars right now. So if we were to go further down the street, there would be a bunch of old classic cars parked. Oh, you're gonna let me go? Thank you, thank you. A bunch of classic cars parked in the parking lots because they just go up and down. People will bring their like newish cars, like Mustangs and Corvettes and stuff too, but mostly classic cars. It's cute and all, and I do like classic cars, but this is not a 4-lane street. It can't accommodate a ton of traffic. So when you have all these classic cars going very slow up and down, it really slows things down on South Golden Road. And so it's a pain. It's a real pain driving around on First Saturday. I try to avoid the back end of town because of that. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I like that they do that. People can bring their classic cars out, but it also, if you're not participating and you're just trying to get from your house to the grocery store, it takes like 3 times as long. So anyway, oh, my headphones. I was like, I didn't bring my headphones. They're on my ears, Anthony. And of course my eyes are stinging. I've been putting a lot of sunscreen on today because I've been out all day. So now I've got 5-6 layers of sunscreen, and it's finally starting to get in the eyes. But anyway, so yeah, I'm hoping I can do a little Waterworld clip for you. I keep filming these little clips. Like I filmed a bunch of stuff while we went camping. I was like, oh, I think in the clips I'm like, this will go up sometime in September. But you know me, I get too anxious, and I'm like, I want everyone to see what I'm doing now. So either I just have to deal with my own personal impatience to get videos up, or just completely stop filming. And as you can see, the not filming is not working out for me. But it's okay. I have the free time. It was either this or just walk around just listening to music and podcasts and stuff, which I might do in the back end of this walk as the sun goes down. It is really bright. But yeah, you can see in this parking lot here, there's a few classic cars just hanging out in the parking lot. They just kind of chill around town. They just set up shop. Some people put out folding chairs in a little tent and they just sit next to their car, and you walk by and, ooh, what kind of car is this? Oh, it's a this and that with the this and this engine. Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay, see ya. You can see there's a little Cobra, Shelby Cobra. I think that's probably a kit car. That blue one over there. So yeah, and this may be the last Super Cruise of the year. I think they only do it like May through August. They might do one in September, I'm not sure. It's kind of weather permitting, I think. So yeah, lots of little convertibles and all that stuff. So yeah, there's a couple just sitting over here picnicking next to their pretty car. So yeah, I guess let's get past these folks and we'll go ahead and dive into some comments. How are you doing, buddy? I haven't seen you poop yet. Is that because you're not feeling well or because you're too enthused? Let's see if he'll go over here. This is the high school, by the way. We've been here many a time. You want to get up? Hop up. Hop up. Good boy. That shade's nice, huh? Come here. That shade's nice, huh? Yeah. It's hot out. And your little paws are probably roasting, huh? Come on. Good boy. Good boy. I'm just going to walk around here a little bit in hopes that he goes potty, because we have plenty of trash cans here in the high school courtyard. All right, let me pull up YouTube comments. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll get to that comment eventually. Okay, so let's see. As soon as I'm going to read a comment, he's going to go potty. Watch him. His timing is impeccable. Okay, so going to my unboxing of Big Sis by Ivy Dullamore and Diamond Art Club. Avery says, this is totally me. I'm a gamer girl. Love this. It's on my wish list. Oh, good. Yeah, it's. I'm not a gamer girl, but it's very much me as well. That's awesome. I love that kit. I'm glad so many people had some positive things to say about it. And then we already covered that. Then my vlog episode 117. Thank you for doing what you do, says Jane Cinecor. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's always nice to hear. And then we have a couple of comments in regards to my unboxing of Dreaming of a Better Tomorrow by Jeremiah Kettner. And Diamond Art Club Elise788 says, hi, great diamond painting, love all the colors. I remember a while ago you mentioned about that putty you found. Anything happened with that? I'm not sure, Elise, if that is if you're being sarcastic or not. But I think you're referencing I'm starting my own diamond painting putty business, or I forget what I titled that video, but that was just a joke. But thank you for the comment. And then Mia goes on to say, she is so stunning. I was so sad when Diamond Art Club never released this for everyone. Thank God a sweet girl from Germany wanted to destash it. And then My Creative Heart says, I agree. I still haven't found one. Yeah, that's interesting. I knew I got it as part of a mystery box. I just didn't know that it hasn't actually been like released, like in a general release. So I didn't know that was like a kit that was highly desired. I knew Mia was looking for it specifically, or wanted it, because she was mentioning it the day that I unboxed it was a Sunday, and then she went live and was talking about it, so I was chatting about that kit with her on her live. And I was like, I think I'm gonna hold on to it, because I think she had mentioned, if you don't like it, you can send it my way. And I was like, I actually filmed the unboxing of it today, and I kind of like it, so I'm gonna hang on to it. The colors are what's keeping me interested in that one. But yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it. And you know, Diamond Art Club has fantastic quality and stuff, so I have no issues with that. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna hang on to it because I know I'm gonna at least enjoy the process, you know, which I've definitely been experiencing. How about working on A Question of Reality? I love the artwork, it's really cool, but it's very detail oriented and technical and fairly confetti heavy. And so I'm less about just cranking through it, I suppose, and less about like, oh, I'm fascinated, like I can't wait to hang this necessarily. You know, I'm kind of I have eclectic taste, but that particular image, A Question of Reality, is more interesting from a subject standpoint than like the beauty of it, if that makes sense. And so I've definitely been working on it kind of as like, how do I explain it? Like, usually when I work on, like, let's say I'm working on a muka, I'm working on it, and then I take a step back and I'm like, oh, it's revealing a little bit more of this. Oh, this is so beautiful, and the history and all of that stuff. But with The Question of Reality, I kind of have been just putting on like a podcast or somebody's content or, you know, something like that. And I just kind of, it's a little bit of a zone out project for me, where it's just like, put the color here, and then I kind of come to after a video's over and I'm like, oh wow, I got that much more done, as opposed to like, let me watch a documentary about muka, and like, I'm not thinking about like, what would it have been like in France at that time, you know? So it's just a little bit of a different style of diamond painting, where I'm just kind of like, it's really kind of zone out and relax mode, as opposed to like connecting, quote unquote, with the artist or artwork. It's just different. I still really like it, of course. I'm making really good progress on it, but it's just different for me working on A Question of Reality than like an old masters or something. So that's kind of where I see that Jeremiah Kettner image coming in, is like, oh, fun colors. I'm enjoying just the diamond painting of it all, as opposed to like, oh, I'm really connecting with Gustav. I feel like I'm connecting with Gustav Klimt through time and space, you know? Whereas when I work on an old masters, I definitely feel like I'm part of the history, you know? So yeah. Thank you so much for the comment. And then going to my vlog, episode 121, Mia goes on to say, it's kind of sad that your area doesn't do more recycling. You would get a chalk if you would ever come to Denmark and see how much is recycled here. Maybe that would be interesting to find out how it's done around the globe. I just got curious. That really is interesting. I saw that comment when you originally posted it, Mia, and yeah, I know that a lot of countries are they have much more robust recycling programs than we do here in the US, but even more so like state by state, county by county, city by city, all has their own different systems. So it's not like a countrywide effort here, at least not that I'm aware of. But I know Thailand has a very intense recycling program. Like, every little thing is separated into different bins, and there's different days that it's supposed to go out, and there's all these kind of like rules around it. Here it's much more just honor system. You put anything that is quote unquote recyclable in a single bin, and then they are supposed to sort it and suss it all out for you on the back end. But from what I understand, the amount of stuff that you put into recycling versus what actually gets recycled is pretty minimal in a lot of cases. So, and once again, we have like county and city and state recycle, like it's all done by municipality. So like there's certain areas at least in Colorado, like certain areas like where I grew up in Weld County, like up in the farmlands, where there is no recycling. There's no recycling programs. You just throw it all away, we've got the land, we've got the landfills, throw it all away. It's when you get into like the metro areas, like Boulder, Longmont, Denver, of course, where you start to see slightly more built out programs. But when you're out there on the farms, everything just gets thrown away. They still have a lot of areas up in the plains where it's legal to do trash burning. You have burn days where you can just burn your trash on specific days. So yeah, it's the rural areas, hate that word, rural areas have much more lax regulations. So yeah, thank you for the comment. Then going back to my unboxing of Dreaming of a Better Tomorrow, Ruby Runner says the teal color is so pretty. Yeah, I know, it's awesome. Then my wrap up of Primrose by Alphonse Mucha. Emma, or no, is it Emmy P or MEP? EMMEP, I'll just say that. Says, I got it distracted by Diamond's large canvas and squares, loved the colors, loved the rendering, but there was too much space between drills. Large areas of gappings, I got 60% of it done, and I'm so frustrated I have not returned. Yesterday I pulled it out alongside a new canvas from another company and chose to do the new canvas. I just don't want to be that frustrated again. I would like to try some of their other canvases. I have never done a DAC square. Now I'm nervous about squares. Honest reviews help organizations improve, and if seen as the positive tool reviews are, you can use that feedback to make changes and grow your business. Yeah, I totally agree about that. You know, taking that feedback to heart and making adjustments if necessary or when it's necessary, for sure. So hopefully that video came across in that fashion. And I'm sorry you're having those kinds of struggles with your kit. I guess I would say don't associate that experience with like all square canvases. At least give another one a shot. I have really good experience with a lot of squares from a lot of shops. DAC is just kind of, Diamond Art Club is just kind of the gold standard when it comes to a lot of that stuff in terms of gapping and whatnot. Placement can sometimes play a role into it too. I struggle with gapping more on my square drill canvases. Well, you know, round drill canvases will always have some kind of gapping because just the nature of the shape of the drill. You're gonna have that spacing and where the rounds don't touch. But for squares, I have really good luck with Diamond Art Club. A Question of Reality is looking really good. There's still some minimal gapping, but not anything that I can attribute to the drills. It's just my placement. So, but once you take a good step back, oop, potty break, hold on. Sorry. Now we've just got to find a trash can to throw that away in. There's the start of a little trail that we went on last time we went up here that I think has a trash can. If not, I'll just be carrying this for a good long while because I don't know of any other public spaces up in this part of town. But yeah, don't give up on squares completely. I would try at least one more to get a feel for it. Maybe you can find a smaller canvas with an image that calls to you, so you're not making a huge investment in like a giant kit. But Diamond Art Club, if I have anyone that's like, I haven't tried Diamond Art Club yet, and I'm curious about different quality from shops, I would always suggest starting there because not only do I find them to be incredibly consistent in their quality and high amount of quality, but their customer service and warranty and all of that stuff is kind of the best around as far as what they cover and how they'll help you out. So I would start there. And if you like it and you're not seeing those same issues, then you know, either stick with them, stick with Diamond Art Club, or, start looking into maybe some other shops. I personally really like Jaded Gem Shop. diamond painting shop. I've completed a square from them. And yeah, so that's kind of, I would say Diamond Art Club's kind of like would always be my recommendation for like, if you've never tried one, you should, because it's really consistent, it's really good. They have such good quality checks and stuff too, so and they really stand behind their stuff. Not that other shops don't, but you know what I mean. It's Old Faithful. When in doubt, DAC it out. Come on, let's go. For first timers, for sure. We've got somebody coming up, and I need to find where to throw this away. So I'm gonna pause you so I can go search for a trash can and get past a couple of walkers coming towards us. So give me just a run, Apollo, run, run, run. The golf course right here called Fossil Trace, that butts right up against the trail on this side, and then you cross the street, it continues over. I think a little bit of this is public trail, but it's also kind of mixed with the golf course. But they had trash cans right there on the other side of that street, about 15 feet in or so. So me and Apollo quickly and briskly walked over to the trash cans at the golf course and threw it in the waste there. So hopefully that's okay. I hope no one scolds me saying, hey, those golfers pay country club money and they shouldn't deal with your poop. But I did sneak in the little trail there along the pathway leading into the golf course and threw that away. So yeah, sorry. I couldn't find anything else, and it looked public, and then I turned the corner and the trash cans had the country club logo on them, and I was like, oh, well, we're already here, Apollo, let's get this done and get out of here. But anyway, okay, back to comments. Joe said, we're heading over to that spot by the river if you want to meet us there. I'm completely not near there. I'm just going to write back. I'm behind the golf course, so probably won't be able to make it all the way there in decent time. That's like completely the opposite direction. But I am going to say I'm going to Ace High for karaoke at 9. If y'all have the energy for that, I'd love to. I don't like I say I'd love to. If y'all have the energy for that, it would be fun for the whole family. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, cool. Let's see what he says. He's probably going to say, we're too tired for that. They went out last night. They went out to do that art walk. Apollo, I'm trying to get your legs undone. Watch your legs. Excuse me. Legs. Okay, there we go. I had to literally lift him up. Yeah, they went to that art walk yesterday, or like First Friday, I think is what it's called. And I just didn't have the energies for it, and I fell asleep way too early. But according to the recap, they were out until about 2 a.m. yesterday, so all of my friends are they all looked a little worse for wear, a little hungover still today from their long night out. So I'm like, oh, I'm kind of glad I didn't go, because I got plenty of sleep. I was up at 5:30, out at 6 a.m. walking Apollo, went up to Estes Park, came back, did some filming, editing, posting, and now we're here. I'm like, I got all that done today. I feel like I've lived 2 days of a weekend in one day. So I'm feeling good, and I'm kind of glad I didn't end up going. It would have been fun, but I would have been kicking myself. Not that I'm drinking or anything, but I would have stayed up and hung out. So yeah. Let's get past these pepperoonies. You sniffy boy? Oh, good boy. So yeah, we're gonna come up here to this little intersection where it connects with the highway, and then to avoid highway noise, we'll turn around. We're essentially doing the same loop that we did last time. I just like it back here because it's generally more quiet than going downtown by the creek. So yeah. Okay. Going back to comments. So yeah, we were talking about the gapping, and yeah, Diamond Art Club, I would still give them a shot. Don't write off squares completely. See how you feel with maybe a smaller square from Diamond Art Club. They even have their little diamonds, and some of those are squares, which are little, what I consider kind of mini kits. So at least you'd get a feel for their drill quality and stuff. And then you're talking, you know, $20 invested. So yeah, thank you for the comment. And then Shimmy Dancer, oh, that's a cute name. Shimmy Dancer says, I bought a kit I dearly love from a reputable shop with the same issues you describe. I put it away and it has been a few years since I've been able to look at it. I love the image so much and it will be beautiful. Now that it has been some time, I'm thinking about going back, adding extra glue in the areas not completed and trying again. Ordinarily, I would just toss it, but I love the image. So I appreciate your honesty about this kit. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the comment. Yeah, I feel the same way. There's certain kits that I will make it work if it means I have to rechart it and buy drills, to fix it and all of that stuff. Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott is my next one. That is like that, where I will go back and take a closer look at the skin tones, get a good feel for it, see if I need to replace those with regular drills, hand chart something to clean it up. I must do that kit. I love it so much. And Tamara Dillampika, the estate has not licensed with anybody else, at least at the time of filming this. So I don't have any other place to get it, and it would be illegal for me to do it as a custom from anywhere else. So I kind of need to just, either I do it or I don't, And so if you're in a similar situation where due to licensing, you can't obtain that kit anywhere else, then yeah, for sure. And then the same goes for if it's a budgetary reason, can't see past buying it again from another shop, money-wise, and, it would be a waste. I get that too. However, if it is an old masters where you are free to use it anywhere you'd like, or get it done anywhere you'd like, an option would be to get it done again as a custom. And I'm always going to point people towards Jaded Gem Shop for that stuff, which is one of my options for Primrose. So yeah, thank you for the comment. And then going to my vlog episode 122, Jennifer Murray says, my million is on its way. Oh, I forgot. I said, what did I say in that? I said something like, oh, we're getting that highway noise. Let's flip it. I do want to keep walking up here, but it gets too loud. It is pretty sunset today. Still a little hazy, not as bad as the other day. I said something like, oh, I will start a diamond painting business. And if I ever started a diamond painting business, my angle would be trying to find some more sustainable means of producing drills and canvases and lots of recycled plastics and stuff. But I'd have to have millions and millions of dollars to get all new machinery and stuff made that can accommodate recycled plastics and stuff. And I was like, if everyone just donates $1 million, then I can do it. So we've got one. I think Mia also said in a previous video that she's sending her $1 million too. So thank you so much. I've got 2 down. I need about 98 more folks to pledge. And once I have that $100 million, then I will start my own Sustainably sourced and manufactured diamond painting business. Hope someday I hope that that's the direction that we go, or that some of these bigger shops go, is let's see some recycled canvas materials being used, recycled fibers and cloth. Let's see some naturally derived adhesives of some kind, but most importantly, let's see some drills that are made using 100% recycled plastic. That would be cool. Even if that's the end of the lifespan for that plastic, because we're adding all the dyes for the colors, at least it made it that far instead of using all new plastics. But I'm not going to get on my soapbox about that. I diamond paint, so clearly I'm not that up in arms. Okay, Mia says, "Hi, Anthony and Apollo. Don't know if this is going on other places around the globe, but here in Denmark, they're hoping to make plastic from sugar beets from around 2026. There is so much research going on these years. The goal is to make water and soda bottles and soft plastics as a start, I think. Can you imagine all the soft plastic in a kit being made from that? The plastic around the kit, the dust bag, the toolkit, the plastic on top of the canvas, and the plastic around the drills. That alone would help a lot. And then use recycled cardboard on top of that. I don't know if resin could be made more environmental friendly. Someone way smarter than me has to look into that. I'm almost done with my second row on A Question of Reality. Kind of wonder if I'll be nearly done by September. Love and hugs to the both of you." Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And congrats on your progress for A Question of Reality. That was 3 weeks ago that you were 2 rows in. So that must mean you're 4, 5 rows in now. You're probably 75% done, if not further. So congrats on that progress. I wish I was that far. I'm going to catch up. I'm going to be catching up to you because I'm not working on Medi anymore right now. I'm just doing A Question of Reality and Lotus Koi Fish until Lotus Koi Fish is done. And even then, I've been leaning, in the past few days, leaning a little bit more into A Question of Reality. So I should be done with my 3rd row by this week at the time of filming this, which is August 3rd. I should be done with my 3rd row going into my 4th row. So that'll put me at fairly close to halfway-ish when I get the 4th row done. So if I keep up this trend, I should at least finish it by the end of September. If I really give it a good go, then there's a chance I might get it done by the end of August. We'll see. That's a big ask, but we'll see. I have a feeling I'll push for A Question of Reality and be squared out for a little bit and then take like a week-long break to just do all of Lotus Koi Fish, because that's how it goes with me. I usually have a round kit and a square kit up that I'm rotating through. I will hit the ground running with the square drill canvas, and then I'll start to get a little bit frustrated because I like the speed of rounds and I like my sparklers. So I'll get kind of tired or bored or whatever with the square, and then I totally flip-flop and just do the round drill until it's done. Then I'm like, finish and review. Meanwhile, I have all these square canvases sitting as whips, which is why my custom of Apollo still isn't done, which is why A Question of Reality isn't further along. But they do get done. I just tend to finish my rounds faster because they're my comfort. They're my cozy kits and my fast finishes, and my sense of completion are my round drill kits, and they usually have the pretty sparklers that I've enhanced with. So I just need to do more sparklers for squares, so I'm more engaged with my squares too, but what are you gonna do? But anyway, and then also when it comes to the plastics, I would love if we started making incremental changes towards reducing the use of like new quote-unquote virgin plastics, like the dust cover, just like you said, all of those soft, thinner plastics. That would be very nice. Just to start. They do make a lot of plastics out of corn here in the US. You'll see a lot of corn-based plastic alternatives, like your silverware, like your utensils, single-use utensils, plastic plates. At my work that I work at, it's an LEED platinum certified facility campus. So all of the buildings are LEED certified, meaning there's certain initiatives taken to reduce the amount of heating and cooling and energy needed to keep the building going. It runs completely off of its own solar. Our parking garages have solar panels across the entire top. We also have the state's first, and I believe only, on-site water treatment facility, meaning all of the water that's in our toilets is completely recycled on site. So it doesn't go to a recycling facility and come back. We have a mini treatment facility right there on the campus. So all of our flushes don't even leave the building. They go to another, or don't even leave the campus. They go to another building. It's all processed and put back through the system. So the only fresh water that we use is our drinking water and hand washing water. Everything else stays on site. I don't know how many times it gets recycled before it leaves the system, but it's a fairly closed loop. I took a tour of that building and it was stinky. And then all of the cutlery and all of the stuff that the cafeteria uses, like the plastic containers that are grab and go salads and sandwiches go in, all of our silverware, napkins, little hand washing paper towels, all of that stuff is not only recyclable but compostable, biodegradable. So they partner with a couple different companies to provide us with that stuff. So yeah, it's really cool, and I wish that we would see that more regularly. But yeah, thank you for the comment. And then RM Jolly says, I've had the same thing happen to me before. Caught my TV on fire. I won't use candles in glass jars anymore. Too scary. On another note, I love that you care about what Apollo eats. I work at a pet supply store, and it's so frustrating when pet parents won't take advice on what they should be feeding their dogs. Apollo is such a happy, healthy boy. Oh, thank you. Did you hear that, buddy? Let's go. So first thing there, that is wild that you said that the TV set on fire. That's crazy. Yeah, I haven't burned any candles in the house since that incident, and I have a bunch, but I just am too scared. Maybe eventually I'll get a candle warmer. Sorry, nose has just got stuffy. A candle warmer, that way I don't have to light a flame. So I might be trying that, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it. They're just all sitting under the counter, not used, under the sink. And then, so yeah, that's wild. Setting the TV on fire, oh my gosh. I hope that you let the candle company know when they were able to get you squared away, because that's crazy. If your property's damaged, that's a big deal. And then when it comes to, oh my gosh, there's a fox statue in this yard, and look at him. He's very concerned. It's not real, buddy. You want to go look at it? It's fake. It's not real. It's not real, baby. It's not real. See? It's just a statue. Okay, let's go. Just a statue. See? You're fine. But yeah, as far as the boy goes and his food, I'm very, very particular about what he eats, and I'm trying to get better about when accidents happen, because they've been happening more frequently, and it used to really get on my nerves. Dropped some, my roommates drop food on the ground when they're cooking, and then Apollo runs up and scoops it up. Or they'll be eating at the couch and there's just a bunch of crumbs everywhere that no one decided to clean up, and then Apollo goes and hoovers them up, and I'm like, it was really getting on my nerves there for a little bit, because both of my roommates are not the most cleanly eaters or cookers. And so Apollo's excited to pick up those scraps. And we're talking crumbs, like nothing major. But then the other day, not a couple weeks ago, we were all just sitting in the kitchen talking, and Doug's eating handfuls of goldfish crackers, and Apollo's sitting there, and he threw one for Apollo to catch. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm so sorry. It's just like muscle memory, because he used to have a dog. His dog passed away, unfortunately. He's like, it's just muscle memory. Like, we're all sitting here snacking, and he's laying on the ground or sitting there giving me puppy eyes. I just instinctively threw him one, like, share the love. And I'm like, I get it, but please don't do that, because he doesn't eat human food, especially something processed like goldfish. And then I went over to I've been going over to Alex's house, and he feeds Maverick, his husky, human food all the time. Bacon grease, whatever, he'll finish cooking and he just puts the pans on the ground, and Maverick cleans off the pan before it goes in the sink and then into the dishwasher. So anything that's in there, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, pasta sauce with garlic and onions and whatever, he gets to clean up the pans. And so he did that. I went over there and he was cooking. He just put the pans down on the ground like he always does. And of course, Apollo runs up and starts going to town. I'm like, no. Just Maverick gets to do that. And then Maverick also has the habit of, when you're eating, he tries to get underneath your legs and between your legs and under the table to either beg for food or pick up any scraps. And so I have to like scold Apollo not to follow him into the dining room or follow him to wherever we're eating, because he normally doesn't do that. He just goes and sits in the other room, because he hasn't been raised to be motivated by human food or when people are eating, but now he's starting to develop these tendencies where I go to sit down to eat and he's trying to get all up in my stuff. So I have to like train him out of it. And then today, for another example, all the guys are over. They order pizza. They have all the pizza boxes sitting around on the table, and one of our buddies doesn't eat the crusts, so he's got all the crusts laying in one of the empty boxes, and they're like moving their beer bottles and stuff around, and I guess one of the crusts fell out kind of out of the box a little bit and was hanging off the table, because they're not paying any. They don't have dogs, and Apollo's not their dog, so they don't have that awareness. They're just doing what they do. Who cares? Which I get. I understand it, but then I come downstairs and they're like, "Oh, Apollo ate a pizza crust," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And they're like, "Well, it was on the table." I'm like, "Let me guess. It was like." The box was half a foot off the table and the crusts were hanging out of it. And they're like, "Oh, yeah." I'm just like, like, please, can you please just like, I guess it's not your dog, so you shouldn't care, but just be mindful, just be mindful that there is a dog who is motivated by food, not necessarily human food, but now he's developing like a desire for it, or he knows where he can like get a little extra something, so it just, it's fine. I'm getting less, like, I did not get mad about the pizza crust. I was like, "Oh, look at you, little pizza butt. Did you sneak a piece of, a slice of pizza or whatever, just kind of brushed it off." But, internally I'm like, like I can list, if you ask me to sit down and write down all of the human things that he's eaten, I can write it down, because it doesn't happen very often, but it's really been spiking because of my roommates and Alex, because dogs get human food in their world, and I'm like, no, like there's a reason why he gets a very specific diet, because I want him to be happy and healthy and live a long life and not have any stomach problems or develop weird allergies or get sick. So I get annoyed when that gets thrown off course, because he's pretty regimented by what he gets. So yeah, he's on We still have a partial bag of Smack dog food left, but he has transitioned over to a brand called the Simple Food Project, and it's all freeze-dried food, no synthetic ingredients, all freeze-dried, and then they include like cranberries and little bits of sweet potato and blueberries and stuff for the nutrient piece of it, vitamins and minerals and all that. And so I really like it because it's freeze-dried. A lot of the stuff's freeze-dried whole. So when I say cranberries, you see the physical little cranberries. They look like craisins in the food, and little bits of blueberry or pumpkin, little pieces of pumpkin. So it's not blended into like just a brown slab. It's all like the physical freeze-dried food. It's pricey. His food bill is right around 250 USD a month to keep a dog of his size and activity level fed. So it's not cheap, and we may not be able to afford that forever. But for now, it's the best that I can give him. And then he still gets his CoQ10, his, I think it's like DHT or something oil. It's got his omega-3s and all that stuff. It's supposed to be good for brain and joint health. He gets his green-lipped mussels, which are powdered for his joints. And he gets sprouted, organic sprouted seeds, which are really high in like good bacteria, like kombucha bacteria, for gut health. And occasionally he'll also get some cod skins, which are really high in omega-3 and 6. And then he also occasionally gets his frozen tracheas, which are mainly just to keep him entertained. They're frozen, so they also kind of cool him a little bit, but they're super high in protein. They're packed full of organs, so there's like beef liver and beef heart and beef lung minced up and put inside of the actual trachea. So it's like a little protein treat. He's only been getting those about once a week now, because I was giving them to him every other day there for a little while, and his poops showed the fact that he was not digesting that much trachea in one go, because it's very, it's trachea, it's fleshy, it's, cartilage and stuff. So a couple of his poops after like the 6th day of getting one every other day. Hold on, let's go ahead and cross. We got a distracted dog. Distracted by Doggos. The new pet company by Anthony. This way. So yeah, I was feeding those to him too much. So that's just like a once a week thing, if that now. Whereas I was doing it a lot more regularly. I wish he lost his taste in raw bones. He used to love chomping down on raw bones, like beef knuckle bones or buffalo bones and stuff, and getting all the marrow out and just gnawing on them. Maybe I'll try again. But there was a little while there where he would gnaw on it for a minute, and then he'd just leave the raw bones sitting around, which really grosses me out because it's raw meat. And so we stopped doing it, but I've noticed that his teeth are not looking as pearly white as they once were. I'm seeing a little bit of buildup at the base of some of his teeth. It's very mild, but it's still there. So I've been brushing his teeth a lot more. He gets a brush every other day, as long as I can remember it, every couple of days. And I got an enzyme toothpaste and one of those brushes that has 3 brush heads, so it really gets in there. And he actually likes his teeth being brushed. He has a face that makes it look like it's a little massage, and he seems to like it. So we do that to keep up with it. But back when he was gnawing on raw bones a lot, his teeth were like glowing white. So I need to try again. Maybe I'll get some tomorrow and try feeding him one. Because they are frozen, so he might like a cold treat now because it's hot. It's just been a little while. Oh, I got a dog. Hold on, let's cross the street. Good boy. That dog is jazzed for life. I don't know if you can hear it breathing. It's not barking, it's just breathing heavy. Hop up. Good boy. But yeah, I do my best. He gets his vet checkups every 6 months. He's always looking good, fingers crossed, knock on wood. But I try to give him the absolute best that I can based off of my budget. Sometimes we've got to dip, Smack is slightly cheaper than Simple Food Project, not by much. And then a step down from that would be Carnivore, which he doesn't love, but he'll eat it. It's not his favorite. That's a slight step down in terms of what he likes in the minimal processing. They bake their stuff instead of extrude it, so it's still very good, and it's still expensive, but you can get a 20-pound bag of Carnivore for about $120, $130, and that'll last him the whole month. Whereas Simple Food Project, you get about, I think it's 7 pounds of food per order, and I have to do 2 of those a month. So it's on the pricier side. And then a step down from that would be the Origin dog food, and I go for the Tundra version of that. It just has a higher protein level. But I moved away from that last year because they use synthetic vitamins and minerals that are sprayed onto the dog food after it's been cooked, because when they cook it at extremely high heats, that kibble, so it essentially sterilizes the meats, because they're not always they don't use human grade quality products, so they have to essentially sterilize it. So a lot of times even the protein is kind of stripped from it. So it's really nothing. I shouldn't say that, because I'm being a little extreme. Origin is a good dog food. Don't get me wrong, it's a good dog food. And if you're feeding that or even anything else, I'm not trying to shame anyone, but I'm just trying to explain the process. So for kibble, 2-bedroom, 1-bath with apartment over garage, partially furnished, no pets. Sorry, no pets. That's a no for you. Sorry, buddy. So kibble. When they make kibble, especially your traditional dog food kibble, let's just say we're talking Purina Pro Plan. Let's just pick one. So they don't use human grade meat. They will take meats. So let's say it's a beef recipe Purina Pro Plan. So they're going to take cuts of meat that will not be consumed by humans. So just kind of the scrap meat parts after processing. Anything that's been quote unquote damaged during the processing, the processing for human grade. So, oops, we dropped a bunch of something gross on this one. Rinse it off, put it in the pile for Purina to pick up. Some companies, I don't remember if Purina is one of these, but they allow what they call 4D animals. So if a cow shows up to be slaughtered and it's dead on arrival, that is not allowed by the FDA for humans to consume, but it's fine for dogs. Downed, meaning they're injured, alive, but injured to the point where there's concern that it would pose a risk to humans, so it goes in the dog food pile. Diseased, so visibly diseased of some kind that could make humans sick, that goes in the dog food pile. And I forget the other one. It's like 4 Ds means like dead, diseased, downed, or there's another D. But anyway, so anything that can't be safely consumed by humans goes in literally a pile out back, a pile of carcasses and meat sitting out in the sun. And then a truck comes up. They scoop it all into the back of a truck, and it goes to Purina or wherever. And they render down those meats. They cook it using an extrusion process at extremely high heats that essentially sterilizes the meat. So it is technically meat, but protein's been stripped out of it. All the nutrients, the benefits of it have all been stripped out. So you can call it beef because technically it is, but by the time they're done with it, it doesn't even closely resemble the picture of the pretty steak and vegetables that they print on the bag. It's just almost essentially a powder, a mealy powder. So then they come through with corn, starches, and stuff to get it to stick together again, and turn it into those little balls, those little pieces of kibble that you commonly see coming out of the pet food bag, to get it to form into that nugget. And then they'll also add some other things to help pad that out to start providing the nutrients again, because it's no longer in the food natural or by itself from the meat. So that's why you'll see like pea protein. That's going to up the fiber and that's going to up the protein content. That's when you'll start to see, a lot of legumes or soy. Soy is very commonly used to up protein levels. So things that a dog normally wouldn't get their protein sources from, they're now getting it from those things. But again, they can still call it beef recipe or beef formula because it does technically have beef in it, and maybe even a significant amount of beef, but just the way it's made it's a little misleading. So, and then when they're all done, they still need vitamin A, vitamin D, phosphorus, taurine, all those nutrients that come from the raw foods. All of that's been stripped out. So they purchase supplements, liquid supplements, kind of like you and I would take a supplement pill if we're deficient in something, but we don't take all pills, you know what I mean? So it's not like we're getting all of our nutrients from all supplements. Like we wake up in the morning, take our 40 pills and that's it. We get a lot of our nutrients from the foods we eat. But because they've been stripped out of those kibbles, they go through and put these vitamin mixes together, and then the kibble goes down the line and there's these spray nozzles above the kibble, and as it goes by, they spray it with an even amount of this nutrient mix to make sure that all the nutrients are accounted for. In theory, it keeps your dog alive because they are getting all the things that they need, but for me personally, it's less about simply keeping Apollo alive and more about making sure that he's healthy and thriving and getting his nutrient sources from the foods that I eat, But that doesn't mean that doing it the other way is wrong. It's just a different mindset. I think of him more in that way of like, he should be treated as I am treated, but not everybody feels that way about their pets, and that, once again, not wrong. It's just a different approach. So yeah, that's kind of how I do things. The other thing that is sometimes tough with the synthetic mixes is a lot of times they're purchased from third party. So it's not Purina that's making all this stuff. They'll purchase their vitamin A supplement from a manufacturer in China, and their vitamin D whatever from another manufacturer, and then this from here, and then they mix them together in-house. But sometimes those manufacturers get their dosing wrong or their labeling wrong. So they'll say mix 1 part per 100 pounds of food, and they meant to say 0.1, or let's say 1 liter for a pound of food, and they meant to say 1 milliliter or something like that. So then the food gets overdosed, dogs get sick, they recall it, and they have to rework it, and sometimes animals get really, really sick. So I'm more inclined to get him his nutrients from natural sources, because I know that the company's probably not going to accidentally put 1,000 times too much cranberry in the product without somebody catching that, you know, as opposed to, whoops, we sprayed too much or too little, or this was mislabeled, you know. It doesn't happen often. I'm not trying to like fear monger. It doesn't happen often, but it does and can happen. So it's less risky for me to, in my own head, to give him freeze-dried whole foods that are human grade. So I could technically cook that up and eat it, and it would meet all of the requirements of human food that you could get at the grocery store, you know? So yeah, long answer, but I think I mentioned it before, like maybe someday I'll talk about why. I just always worry that I'm gonna ruffle feathers because not everyone can afford, that's the other thing, price prohibitive. Not everyone can afford, oh, Anthony's all organic and crunchy and whole foods with his dog, ooh la la, look at you. Meanwhile, I'm over here struggling to make ends meet. So I don't want to bring it up in that regard, but it's just my approach. But it's not everyone's approach, either because you think about nutrition for your animals differently, or you simply just can't afford it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of those companies are held in very high regard, and for as many people that complain about companies like Purina and how horrible they are, there's just as many people that have had dogs live happy, healthy lives off of that food, or, you know, relatively, you know. So I'm not here to judge. I knew that when I got a dog that I would treat my approach just like I treat a lot of other stuff, as like, you know, he's my baby, and yeah, it's just the route I took. I don't know how else to say it. Once again, I'm not trying to make anybody else feel any kind of way. Do what you got to do. Love your dog the way you got to love your dog, and do what you can do within your means, for sure. That's just my approach, and it might slide. You might hear me next year saying, I'm in a really tough spot right now. Apollo, you know, there's a trickle effect to what we're able to afford, and therefore he's on a food that I wouldn't have fed him previously, but this is what makes sense for me and him right now. So zero judgment, because I've also been in spots where before I had Apollo, there's been times where I wouldn't have gotten a dog, you know, or if I had a dog, we'd be kibbles and bitsing it up, you know, because whatever I can get at the gas station or the dollar store. So I've been there and could be there again. So anyway, that's enough covering my butt on that topic. But yeah, thank you for the comment. And then going back to my unboxing of Dreaming of a Better Tomorrow, Ethan DeBryce says, she's absolutely beautiful. I have her in my stash full of happy colors. Agree, her dress needs to be enhanced a little bit. Oh, nice. You'll have to let me know if you end up doing any enhancements. There's a lot of bunnies over here. But yeah, whenever I get to that kit, I'll be doing something with it for sure. Okay, I know where we are now. I want to walk long enough to get a couple more comments, but I also don't want to deal with the bats again. So we're making our way back a little earlier than we normally do. Okay. Then going to my vlog episode 122, Artemis Dreams says, the candle thing is a big no and extremely scary. I wouldn't burn them either. If they have good throw, just leave the lid off to get some scent. Concerning minimalist pharmacy brands, welcome to the dark side. Yeah. Thank you so much for the comment. Yeah, maybe I will just open them up and let them breathe, especially because it's so warm in the house. I'm sure they'd smell up a room even without being burned. So maybe I'll try that. But yeah, the pharmacy brands, oh my gosh. I went down a rabbit hole. I didn't buy again from that French pharmacy because I was like, let me try to use a little bit more of what I've got before I dive back in. But I did, they had a sale at Ulta on the Ordinary brand. And the nice thing about the Ordinary is they're, as a company, they're very strict with their resellers about pricing. They typically don't let the bigger brands like the Sephoras and the Ultas of the world price gouge or set their own like MSRP or whatever it's called. They have set pricing. So what they charge on their own website is what you got to charge on your website. Whereas like other brands like CeraVe, you can go into Ulta and a bottle of CeraVe cleanser will be $19.99, and you go into Target and it's $11.99 because Ulta gets to pick their, dictates their own markups. Whereas with the Ordinary, it's pretty fixed. I've seen some slight adjustment, but that's usually with international shops. So I'll like go onto a shop that sells the Ordinary and they're a UK based store and their pricing's a little bit different, but most of the time for US resellers or retailers, it's always the same. Like on their site, it's $9.70. At Ulta, it's $9.70. Sephora, $9.70. And I think that's why their price points are they're pretty wacky compared to some other brands. Like a lot of places you go, $11.99, $12.99, $13.50, $14.99. It's always these like specific numbers and increments. But then with the Ordinary, it'll be like $4.60 or $7.10 because that is literally like how much it costs to manufacture it, and the marketing and all of that stuff's all, and the markup is all built into that flat price. So resellers don't get to add an extra $5 for annual bonuses for the corporate employees or the stakeholders, They don't get to do that with those products, but they had a buy 3, get 20% off sale on the Ordinary, which rarely ever happens. The Ordinary rarely goes on sale because it's already kind of it's already the warehouse price, you know what I mean? But they had a buy 3, get 20% off. Then on top of that, they had a deal where if you spent $100, you got $20 off. So 20% off of the products, 3 or more, plus another $20 off if you were spending $100. I got in there and placed 2 separate orders for $100 each. So I got $200 worth of product for $160 plus the 20% off. So I got a decent amount of free Ordinary products because they're all affordable. So I'm stocked up on I consider that brand a pharmacy brand because their pricing is really low and really competitive. So I got a lot of staples that I use several bottles of a year. I've got the next year already done. And you think, oh my gosh, $160, that's crazy for skincare. You walk into Sephora and try to spend $160 and see what you walk away with. I mean, you're getting 3-4 products if you're lucky, maybe 5 if you're getting Ordinary. You're gonna get more than that, obviously. There's another brand called the Inky List, which is very affordable, but you can't walk in there and be looking at Tatcha and Glow Recipe and some of these more like fancier brands the prices per product are right around $40 for a moisturizer or a toner. Cleansers can even be that high or higher. So yeah, it sounds like a lot, but I'd say I walked out of there with 20 products, maybe a couple more. So less than $10 an item, which is kind of unheard of unless you're going with some, with the CeraVes and or even like the Walmart brand can run right around $10 a pop. So The Ordinary is a fantastic brand if you are looking to pick up a skincare routine. They're a really nice brand. It's difficult because they're a blessing and a curse. They're the ones that kind of kick-started the whole fascination with ingredients and people being really knowledgeable about ingredients and percentages in their skincare, because they started releasing ingredient-specific stuff. They were one of the pioneers of that. So it's like, you want a niacinamide serum? This serum has 10% niacinamide, and that's it. Some water and some glycerin. Boom, there you go. Oh, you want exfoliation? We've got an exfoliation serum that's got glycolic acid, salicylic acid, and that's really about it. Boom, there you go. You want soothing? Here's a separate serum for that. You want dark spot fading? Here's a separate serum for that. So suddenly you feel really empowered because you start to learn what each of these ingredients does and the actual names of them. But then you're looking at your counter, you've got 15 serums that all claim to do different things, and it's like, okay, do I put all these on my face at once? Do I put this over here? Am I using too much of this, too little of this? So, it leaves something to be desired for the person that's like, I just want to use one thing that works and does the things that I need it to do. I don't want to be my own at-home chemist, So they make it harder in that regard, but I still recommend them for like their cleansers are, for the most part, really good. They have it's called the Glucoside Foaming Cleanser. It's a beautiful daily face wash, super gentle, fragrance-free, nice light foam, gets rid of sunscreen, not so much makeup, but it'll get rid of your sunscreen, wash your face nicely, leaves your skin hydrated without drying out. Anyone can use it. And I think it's like $8. And what else do I use of theirs? I use a lot of their exfoliating products, so I don't want to recommend too many of those because you have to be really careful. But their cleansers are really nice. They have they call it like a soothing and barrier support serum that uses vitamin B. It's not niacinamide, it's something else, but it's a soothing ingredient. And it gives the serum like a Pepto-Bismol pink color, and that really deals with any irritation or redness. It really calms the skin down. That's a beautiful serum, and I think that's around like $16 maybe. So all very affordable. But yeah, the pharmacy brands, they get you. But I'm just as much as I love those now, I still have a soft spot in my heart for fancy packaging and the song and dance that goes around some of the products, even though that song and dance adds a lot of cost. I like a treat myself too, a treat myself product. So anyway, thank you for the comment. We'll do one more. Actually, let's loop around. Let's do two more because that's the last comments for this, at least the last comments that day for that video. I can't believe we're still 3 weeks behind. I'm never going to be less than 3 weeks behind. Alley Cat, same video, says, Apollo, you look so young. Must be the white for Anthony. I think it's great that you'll be doing another Distracted by Diamonds kit. I don't feel like that you bashed the company. It didn't come across that way. I think you gave an honest opinion about the particular kit you were working on and stated that was not the norm from the company. I think it's great that you're going to follow up with the second kit so we can see that either it was just a fluke or maybe there really is an issue. Thank you for your honesty and critical observations. Mostly those reasons that I trust your opinions. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And I mean, Now you've probably seen the most recent vlogs where that one also didn't work out, so be curious to see what your thoughts are now. But we'll get, if you've commented on those videos, I will get to them eventually. But yeah, spring didn't work either, which is a bummer. But I'm hoping, and I might just force it to work, that Portrait of Mrs. Allen Bott works, even if I've got to rechart and purchase backup drills. And I'm hoping, because I'm enhancing so much of it, I might skirt around some coloring issues. But I was also looking at the drills the sparklers that I picked for that kit. The sparklers that I picked for that kit were based off of the colors that were charted. And I didn't even think about it at the time. But then when somebody, a vlog or two ago, a few vlogs ago, mentioned that they were having issues with their Tamara Dillampicas. So then I was like, oh no, I think that some of the sparklers I picked might be based off of the colors, the DMCs that are on the chart, which might be off, like too pink. I looked at the original image and I'm like, yep, I picked a couple of sparklers that have this like rosy kind of pink color on her dress. And her dress in the original image is whites and silvers. No pinkish hues or rosy blush hues, but the colors that were charted on the canvas were some rosy, blushy, soft baby pinks instead of whites and like silvers. Her dress is like white and silver and kind of satiny. It doesn't really have any pink or rose to it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I would have bought all these drills and then she would have ended up with like a rosy pink dress and I probably would have been mad, especially with all the money I would have spent. So I completely pressed pause on that project over the past couple of days after kind of coming to that realization. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna spend the money on the drills or anything until I really have the time to sit down and reference the original image, blow it up on my computer screen, and essentially just pick my own colors. Just pick my own colors for the dress and hope that they're good. I can use the ones that they gave, like if they're rosy or beige or pink, to compare depth of color. So if it's a deeper rose, then I might want a super light gray or smoky silver, really light color. But then if it's the super light pink, then I might just want a straight white or more of an opal-y kind of cloudy white, as opposed to like a pure white. You know what I mean? Like I might be able to just eyeball the nuance of the shades based off of the shade differences in the colors that were there. I just have to make them shades grayscale, essentially grayscale it all out. So it's gonna be a project and a half, but I'm determined to get this kit to work. And I'll probably have to take a look at the skin tones. But yeah, I'm not touching that thing until I have like a full day to sit down and just fuss with it. So let's cross the street and then we'll do the last comment. Thank you so much for that comment. Let's just cross the street because it's so loud with the classic cars. They're just really loud. Classically loud. They're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. They're not set up for filming, that's for sure. Thank you. Maybe I'll start a hybrid and electric car cruise day. It's just silence. Just silent cars. Okay, let's do one last one and then we'll head home. I'm sure the battery's on its last dregs too. Lisa Noof says, hi Anthony, I'd forgotten that I had Spring by Alphonse Mucha in my stash. It's also from Distracted by Diamonds, so I'm really interested seeing how yours turns out. Fingers crossed. I'm so sorry, Lisa. It's serviceable. let me just say that. It's serviceable as a kit. It's just as compared to my hand-charted Diamond Painting Shop Seasons by Alphonse Mucha, it looks fuzzy. It looks like it's out of focus, a little blurry, compared to the hand charting of my Diamond Painting Shop kits. Does that mean it's bad and you need to throw it away or feel upset based off of my feedback? Absolutely not. I think if you didn't have those other kits as a comparison and you were taking a really good step back from a good viewing distance, then it's gonna look, we'll just say this, close enough. It's close enough. But sitting next to my hand-charted ones that have that clarity and definition and detail, especially around the borders, it would look, one of these things is not like the other, you know what I mean? So that's why I decided to let it go. At least the color, the colors were fine. At least to my eye, and as far as I got, which wasn't super far, the colors looked more in line with the original. But again, it ended up just not working out for me. But I hope that you feel differently, and I hope it does work out for you, because I'm not here to try to sway people away from or towards anything, especially if you already have it in your stash. Go for it. And I hope that it works out for you. So anywho, well, I'm gonna let you go. That was our last one for the day. And yeah, thanks so much for checking out this video. Thanks for watching. I always appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye. 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 Come say bye. We haven't been doing that in a minute. Come here. Come say bye. Hop up. Excuse me. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Mwah. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.